Every time you drop an API key directly into a developer environment, you create a permanent, vulnerable target. If that key is sitting in plaintext, it's waiting to be read, copied, or accidentally committed to a public repository. AI agents compound this risk. A single agent needs access to model providers like Anthropic or OpenAI, your code repositories, and your internal databases just to execute basic tasks. We can eliminate this exposure by connecting Docker Sandboxes directly to 1Password. This keeps your plaintext keys entirely out of your daily workflow. To set this up, you need Docker Sandboxes installed and the 1Password command line tool authenticated on your host machine. Keeping credentials out of your local files limits your immediate liability, and it closes off the primary vector for supply chain attacks before they start. A solid barrier separates your secure host machine from the agent's isolated sandbox. The proxy intercepts credential requests at the boundary, swapping your real private key with a securely managed placeholder. Your actual plaintext credential never crosses the barrier. This proxy allows your agents to act autonomously, executing complex tasks without ever holding the true keys to your infrastructure. For baseline secrets, the ones you need every time you boot up an agent, you want a persistent setup. First, open your 1Password desktop app. Right-click the credential you want to use and copy its private link. This gives you a specific URI pointing directly to the vault item. Now look at this terminal input. By combining the Docker Sandbox secret set command with opread, we pipe that 1Password URI directly into the sandbox's secret manager. Notice the -G flag. That tells Docker to register this credential globally across your system, making it available for any new sandbox you create. If you have sandboxes running right now, they won't receive this new global secret. You have to scope the secret to them directly to update their current state. By setting this up once, tools like GitHub tokens are always ready for your agents, keeping your high-frequency workflows secure and uninterrupted. Some workloads require highly sensitive credentials. For these, you want to avoid storing any permanent state on your system whatsoever. Instead of saving the secret globally, you can pass a high-privilege credential directly to the agent for a single isolated run. This terminal shows the required syntax. You assign your specific environment variable to the 1Password URI, followed by oprun, and then a double-dash separator. That double-dash is essential. It tells your terminal exactly where the 1Password arguments end and the Docker Sandbox execution commands begin. When you execute the command, the 1Password command line tool resolves the URI on your host machine before the sandbox even launches. The sandbox reads this resolved variable right as it boots, holds it in memory for the proxy, and intentionally drops it. Nothing writes to the sandbox state. Keep in mind, the sandbox reads a strict list of built-in service variables. It expects specific keys for specific model providers. If you try to pass custom or arbitrary environment variables, the proxy will aggressively block them from entering the container. Limiting credentials to exactly the moment they are needed ensures that even if an agent runs amok, the blast radius stays contained to a single temporary session. Real-world AI agents rarely rely on just one API key. They often need simultaneous access to your GitHub account, multiple LLM providers, and your private container registries. Trying to type all of those variable assignments inline for a single terminal command introduces typos and slows down your testing cycles. Look at this environment file layout. By creating a dedicated secrets.env file, you map all of your required variables to their respective 1Password URIs in one place. There are 0 plaintext passwords in this file. It is populated entirely by secure references to your vault. To boot your agent, you use the -env-file flag with oprun. 1Password batch resolves all the references and hands them to the sandbox in one action. You give the agent the extensive access it needs to complete complex workflows without leaving a single sensitive string resting in your local directory. Your development environment now leverages an automated handoff for every required key. You've automated the flow of secrets while keeping them inaccessible to the local file system. You've completely decoupled your highly sensitive credentials from your project codebase and the sandbox's operational state. You have the global persistence of opread for everyday baseline tools, and the clean, on-the-fly execution of oprun for your high-value targets. You can scale this exact zero-trust pattern to handle Docker registry authentication and secure other CLI tools running inside your containers. By centralizing authentication in the vault and execution in the sandbox, you've ensured that no plaintext secret ever touches your persistent storage. You can deploy agents with the access they need without creating a trail of exposed credentials.